KFAT 92.9, number one for hip-hop and R&B. It's the P's and my humps, and as promised, I've been teasing this for so long. Of course, KFAT 92.9 and BD Productions presenting live in concert, Charlie Murphy! What's up, my friend? Charlie Murphy live in the air right now.
That's right, Charlie Murphy. Right in L.A. chilling.
That's beautiful, that's beautiful. So you're going to be coming up here, I believe it is on January 7th. Let me get my little sheet of paper real quick, like. January 7th at the Performing Arts Center, performing live. Now, it's the Charlie Murphy and Friends comedy tour. What friends?
It's going to be my friend Smokey. He's a local comic from New York. He's local in New York. He won't be local in Alaska.
Not a whole lot of people are local up here.
You know, it's him and myself.
Now, is this your first time doing straight-up stand-up? I know you've been doing movies for a long, long time, but...
when I come to Alaska, is that my first time? Absolutely not.
No. I mean, like...
I wouldn't teach y'all like that.
I meant this particular tour.
No, I've been on the road for the last 2 years, ever since the show went into hiatus. After the first season, I've been on the road ever since then.
How did you find out about Dave just kind of leaving the United States and going down to South Africa? How did you find out about that?
Same way y'all did.
On the news? Oh my God! So have you spoken to him since everything else?
Yeah.
How did he explain himself to you guys? I mean, obviously he did it.
I didn't really ask him for an explanation. I was just glad to see him, and see that he was okay.
That's beautiful.
When I seen him, he was doing he's on the road again. He performed at the Comedy Store here in L.A. and I was at the show, and good to see him. The show was fantastic. He kind of explained himself. He just wanted to get away from it all.
Okay. I mean, that's
that was his explanation. I accept that.
I don't know how his wife accepted a $50 million pay cut, but
he talked about that too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, we still got more time with you. Got to hold on just a second. We're going to be talking with Charlie Murphy for the next 2 hours here. He's got some stories to tell, just to say the least. I got to take the break, pay these bills. So when we get back, more hip hop and R&B and Charlie Murphy on KFAT 92.9. We're number one for hip hop and R&B. Stay close.
ID numbers one.
KFAT 92.9, number one for hip hop and R&B. Mariah Carey, do not forget about us, and don't forget about your boy P. Discus and Gravy P. Religiously Sausage P. Dog is in the building right now. It's Nivea, Brian of Jagged Edge. Don't with my man, and I got my man on the phone right now. Who this?
Yo, this is your man, Charlie Murphy, a.k.a. Darkness, and you're listening to KFAT 92.9.
KFAT 92.9, number one for hip hop and R&B. That's the baby maker right there. 112 and Cupid. It's your man P Dog up in the building right now. But you don't want to hear about me. You want to hear about who I got on the phone right now. He's going to be performing live at the Performing Arts Center on January 7th. So you can get your tickets at centertix.net or call 263-ARTS. I'm just going to stop playing around and thank BD Productions for giving me this interview here and now. Charlie Murphy, man, thank you for joining us now. A lot of people are sad that Chappelle's show is over, but I heard that it's still going. What's up with that?
They're going to show the last 4 or 5 episodes this year. They're going to show those.
Right.
And there's going to be a wraparound, segment. We have to, the way Dave would talk the sketches up, we're going to be doing that. And so I'm not finished with the show yet. There's more Chappelle show that people haven't seen yet that's going to come out this year. Then after that, I'm supposed to be doing something with Neil Brennan and Ashley Larry on Comedy Central. So we're working on something. And it's just a lot of things going on for Charlie Murphy right now.
So you got to like that after, you've been in the business for a long time. You got a famous brother. I think 1 or 2 people might have heard of him.
Yeah.
Now,
1 or 2.
Just a real quick question about Eddie, and then I'll make sure to get back to you because you're the one coming up here, and we're excited about that. But how did Eddie kind of go from, the groundbreaking Delirious and Raw and 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, and now he's kind of gotten into a family stage? Do you think that's because he's got a family now, or what's the deal with that?
I think that's because, if you're going to stay around in this game, you got to reinvent yourself.
Right.
You can't keep beating the same drum and have the longevity that he's had. He's been around we're going into like almost 25 years. Think about it. It's been a while, man. So, to be around that long at that level that he's at, you cannot just continue to do the same thing. It's going to have a shelf life, and then it's going to be, we're tired of seeing that. We show us something different. Any accomplished actor, any capable actor is capable of doing that, and it'll come a day when, when I'm going to have to reinvent myself. When I first came into the game, I was doing strictly the bad guy. Now I'm making people laugh.
Gusto has come a long way.
Yeah, you have to reinvent yourself. You can't keep playing the same tune, man, because after a while it becomes, somebody else's gig.
That's true. Okay, well, how do you sort of sense that coming on? Like, let's say, obviously way after you get up here, but let's say like 3 years down the road, how does Charlie Murphy start to see, okay, I'm getting a little bit old, a little bit predictable?
Well, it wasn't like that for me. It was just, for me, it was a natural transition. I became a member of the cast of Chappelle Show because of my past work.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't happen to Charlie Murphy. Well, we got to take a break real quick, Charlie. We'll get back to you in just a second. I want to talk some more about the Rick James deal. We're going to do that in just a second. I got to pay these bills, like I said, when we get back. More KFAT 92.9 and Charlie Murphy. Thank you, BD Productions. That's all up next.
ID numbers 16.
KFAT 92.9, number one for hip-hop and R&B. Biscuits and gravy are rhythm and blues. You know how that goes, right? It's Mariah Carey shaking it off, Bad Thoughts. I'm just going to continue on. My name is P-Dog. Very, very blessed, and all of you are very, very blessed as well, because in studio, well, actually on the phone, he will be in studio short enough. He's going to be coming up here on January 7th to perform at the Performing Arts Center. You can get your tickets at centertits.net. Safe and sound. Call 263-ARTS. But without further ado, of course, it would be Charlie Murphy. We've been talking for the past hour. Now, Charlie, you were talking a little bit ago about how you have to reinvent yourself after a little while, and you started to get into about you reinventing yourself, but we kind of ran out of time. So do you want to expand on that? What exactly do you mean when you've started to reinvent yourself as well?
If you remember, the first sketch I did on the Chappelle Show was in Mad Real World, and I played Tyree, who was a gangster and a thug, and I shanked the guy's father.
That was beautiful.
But it was like, take a guy who's known for doing stuff like that and put it in a funny context. And because the show was a comedy, it worked, the joke worked, and then I went from there to playing the Buck Nasty,
right?
And the joke worked again, and then people started going, "This guy's funny."
Yeah.
So when people start saying, "This guy's funny," and expecting to laugh, then I had to continue, delivering on that note. So that's why your stand-up, allowed me to do that.
Okay. Well, I'll give you two more questions real quick. First off, you mentioned a couple characters. What was your favorite moment working on Chappelle's show?
Looking back on it, all of them were, equally, a charge. Because the whole process of going from the read through to the actual camera, it was always a charge. And you always working with very talented people, and nobody actually knew what the impact of what we were doing was going to have on the general public. So now to look back on that and go, wow, it's really special.
Well, on that same note, a follow-up question real quick. I know I said just one more after that, but I know that Dave has definitely mentioned in his stand-up, he hears the Rick James thing every once in a while. Is that kind of a nuisance for you? Every time people see you, the first thing out their mouth is...
Well, it's not a nuisance for me. Maybe a nuisance for him, but it's not a nuisance for me. For me, it's liberating,
Right.
Because it's something that came from me. So that's why I may be a nuisance to him. That comes from me.
Yeah.
So that will never be a nuisance to me.
Tell us how you really feel. Actually, we hope you continue to do that. We got to take another break here quick, Charlie, but we will come right back with more Charlie Murphy and also more hip-hop and R&B, because that's what we do. It's your boy P-Dog with Charlie Murphy. He's going to be up here on the 7th of January. You don't want to miss that show, so for more information, hit up bdalaska.com. I got to pay these bills when we get back. You know what it is. You know what it will be, and that's what it is going to be. Does that make sense? I think so. It's KFAT 92.9, number one for hip-hop and R&B, right? I think. What? Hello? Anybody?
ID numbers 16.
KFAT 92.9, number one for hip-hop and R&B. 50 Cent? Okay, fine. Game and 50 Cent. Hate it or love it. We'll see what happens when the Doctor's Advocate comes out. See if Game can pull another one out his ass. It's your boy P-Dog up in the studio right now. Hopefully you're not friends with either of them, Charlie Murphy, because that would be very, very scary for me. But we were talking about, the whole darkness, Rick James bitch thing. You say you don't have a problem with it, and it's actually like part of your show. I guess I don't really understand that. So you want to elaborate just a little bit, just for the people.
People yell out, callback lines and all of that at the show. They yell out character names. Yeah. And, I enjoy that. That's part of my show. It's audience participation. People saying, hey, Buck Nasty, and all that other stuff. That's part of the show, man. It's showing me that the people appreciate, they came in to see me. They appreciate what they seen me do in the past. And we're just taking it to the next page.
Well, actually, on that note, that actually leads into my second question is, what can the people of Anchorage, Alaska, and the Valley area here, what can we expect when we come to see Charlie Murphy and Friends Comedy Tour?
To laugh. They come to see, kind of.
I'd hope so, yeah. But
I mean, that's what more can they expect?
No, right.
They can expect to laugh, man. My show has been, like I said, I've been on the road for almost 2 solid years. I've been in every state of the union And that was one of the main reasons why I said to myself, hey, man, you cannot leave Alaska out. You know, I don't care how cold it is there.
Like, have you been to the Midwest recently?
Yeah, I've been in the Midwest. I've been to the South. I've been as far west as Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to go to Australia. You know, I've been all over the U.S.
Australia is amazing. The reason I actually brought up the Midwest is because they've been about 30 to 40 degrees colder than us pretty much the entire winter so far this year. So it's not going to be so bad for you up here. You're going to be in your element and you'll be warm too.
Yeah, okay, great. Let's do it.
It's Charlie Murphy and Friends Comedy Tour. It's going to be happening at the Performing Arts Center January 7th. You can get your tickets right now at centertix.net. Safe and sound. You can call 263-ARTS. And if you need more information, log on to bdalaska.com. Charlie, thank you so much for talking with us.
All right, thanks for calling me, man.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you here on the 7th. We got more hip-hop and R&B is all coming up next right here on KFAT 92.9. We are number one for the exact same thing.
ID numbers 1611191.